Welcome back, gamers, to another episode of Gamefulness, where we talk about everything related to the gaming industry, latest gaming news, and a video game review every week. Stay tuned. Starting with a couple of quick news. PlayStation 5 unveiled the specifications of the new console. Kind of a boring, not so much like enjoyable, but like fun kind of conference. It was more like a tech conference, and then at least they give us some specs and what to see and compare them. It's kind of like below the Xbox One Series X, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be as powerful. It's just on paper, and we all know what Sony is capable of doing under the hood with like the software and stuff. So we're just gonna have to wait a little bit more on that, but I'll leave you the specs right here, so you can take a look at what we're getting on the new information on that. Also, really interesting, they said that they were gonna have full backwards compatibility, and then the information that they're giving us is that they were gonna have like only the top 100 PS4 games available, and that kind of threw off the fans and kind of get a backlash out of it. So now they're sending a new communication saying that they're gonna have over 4,000 PS4 backwards compatible games at launch. But that back and forth, I'm kind of not trusting Sony in this one. You'll remember that launch of Xbox One DMR thing, and then the Connect, and oh my god, it was bad. So once the fans, were angry enough to like make some changes and force the company to go back, and it never ends well. So I'm just, we will have to see. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, the demo, it's available now if you want to grab it and try it. I haven't played it. I'm probably gonna play it a little bit and let you know my thoughts on it on the next episode. But as of right now, I just downloaded it, and I know it's available there for PS4 and Xbox One. By the way, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Remaster had a review in Korea, so that means that it's been developed already. I don't know, stay tuned for that. Those are the quick news right now that I have for you. And just remember, if you want to have like more news and keep you up to date, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, and that way I can keep you up to date with like more news that comes out and more information. But that's it for now. So be advised that the contents of this episode are not suitable for people under 18. You've been warned. If you're not 18, don't watch this video. If you're 18, stick around. We're going to discuss some of the cool things about Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And in this episode, we're going to talk about none other than one of the best-selling franchises in the video game world ever. And it's none other than Call of Duty Modern Warfare. So after Call of Duty Black Ops 4 announced that it was not going to have a single-player campaign and it was going to be an online multiplayer only, I was kind of disappointed, since we all know what happened to Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare, and they were okay, I guess. I don't know. They're not completely bad, but they have a lot of flaws, and especially Infinite Warfare is bad, completely bad. Sorry, like yeah, spaceships, like yeah, that's not. So after having Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, and then Black Ops 4 with no single player campaign, what was left for the Call of Duty franchise? And I was kind of like not having my expectations so high for this, but then along comes Modern Warfare, the reboot. Let's make it clear, it's not a remaster, it's not a remake. There's a difference there. It's a reboot. It's a soft reboot of the franchise. And in this one, Infinity War does it again. It brings back the same formula that worked so well for the Modern Warfare franchise. It brings back that precious single player campaign that we all want, and has a fantastic multiplayer worth of the Call of Duty entries. And also brings Warzone, a new battle royale done right. which brings elements of all the other battle royales, but in this one, they did it right. They mix it up in a very good way, and it has that Call of Duty touch, and it's giving us a solid experience even in beta. The Gulag is a nice addition to keep the player in the same game. If they win on a 1 versus 1 battle, they get granted for a second chance. That also makes the game session a little bit longer, so you don't have to be waiting in the lobby. And that's what kind of like threw me off about the, those kind of games. Like, you can play, yeah, the game can take a little bit of 30 minutes or so, and then you can get shot in the first minute, and that's it. And then you gotta wait like the whole thing, like in the lobby. So Call of Duty does it right. Like, it has an intermission, it has a fun battle royale, and then if you get, if you die, you have a second chance if you go into the Gulag. So you're not basically waiting in the lobby. You're always doing something. So, which I found fantastic in this entry, and then it is, for me, like the best battle royale, and I'm hooked on it, and I'm playing it a lot, and it's the best thing that Call of Duty might have bring to the better addition that they can bring to the franchise. Call of Duty Modern Warfare campaign is amazing. It's a pretty well-made campaign, although the story is a little bit convoluted and not so memorable. The game will give you moments filled with those iconic action sequences, and in this game they really take some risks. They were bold. They wanted to deal with themes like suicide bombers, mass shootings, among others, and I understand what they're trying to do. That's the kind of like situation that we're dealing with today in the world, but kind of feels like risky even for a Call of Duty. And I know we come from like a lot of stuff in the franchise, but this kind of felt like that. But they gotta give it to them for trying that and implemented that and make it work. Nowadays, still, it was selling pretty good, and it's one of the best selling games right now. Still, I gotta give them credits, like for trying something new for the franchise, and like in those uncomfortable and sometimes unnecessary scenes that require you to play and can be skipped. Why you have to have that? I understand that you want to like put the player into the position of like somebody suffering those experiences and kind of have that psychological sensation of it, but I mean, it's too much. Like, even for me, that I'm from the previous generations, that we have Call of Duties, Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3, and they have pretty controversial scenes and moments. Like, we all remember that No Russian mission, and you know what I'm talking about. So I don't think that will go through in these days, like this generation, and I'm not one of the ones saying no, but I totally understand where we're heading and where we're changing. So that simply doesn't work. But even though they try to implement it here in a different way, in a more humane, crude kind of thing, but it just doesn't work for me. Like, it's those moments, I'd just rather skip them, and I'd rather have just a fun action pace campaign filled with like iconic moments and explosions, and it's not like trying to play like being waterboarded and torture. Like, it's not for me. But even though it gets away with it in a sense, and it's pushing the limits of to serve a purpose to the story, but then it's not being completely intricate to the gameplay, so it feels bold and a little out of place for me. But besides those cringy moments and a short 5 to 6 hours campaign, Call of Duty presents a good, enjoyable single player with quite replayability, and that is like what values the most out of this game. Though basically all the animations are fantastic, like the facial expressions, the voice acting, the the lightning in this game, the sound, oh my god, the sound, it's awesome. It's one of the best sounds I heard on a video game, and it is integral to like a good shooting game having this kind of quality implemented in the audio. So it is fantastic, and it's a really enjoyable experience for those who love the Call of Duty franchise, and for also those ones that look for something newer and a little bit more grounded, like more realistic. It brings all those elements, and it's there for all the people to enjoy. So it is a really well done game. I just wish it was a little bit longer for me. Like, I think it was like, you know, you can take those fillers out that I was talking about and just put a little bit more action in between, and have a couple more hours in that, and it will be a fantastic single player campaign. But none of that like will take away the how good this game is, and how realistic it looks, and even some of the missions like the embassy or like the wolf den, they're kind of inspired on this war movies like 13 Hours or Zero Dark 30, and they did it really well. Like, it feels like you're actually like the SEAL Team 6 and going into that location, trying to get Bin Laden. Like, it feels, and it makes you feel that you're in control and you're in charge. You are in that moment taking control, and it gives you, like, you know, the real sense of what it is to be in war. You don't know who's the enemy or not. It is pretty amazing how they achieve to convince you that you are in there. You're not just playing a video game, and that's the whole purpose of playing this. And it feels really solid. It feels really good. So I enjoy it a lot, and you can see the similarities of it. But at the end of it, it's their own thing. Like, it's a Call of Duty. It's one of the best first-person shooters ever created, and this one does honor to that. My standards were high enough when I saw Modern Warfare 3. I know how good it is, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, and Modern Warfare 2, which it's pretty solid, like more grounded. But that Modern Warfare 3, and take it being over the top and being like a fast-paced, non-stop action, all over the place. It was like, for me, playing that game, it takes you and then it grabs you and doesn't let you go until you finish that game in one sit. It's like you're in for that ride, and that's what I'm looking for a video game. And this one kind of does it, but it kind of, the pacing threw me off. Like, you're going into super like intense action sequences, and then you're going to like kind of like this storyline. That was the only thing that threw me off. But when it does action, it does it, and it does it really well. So I think it's a fantastic game. I think it is what Call of Duty is bringing us right now. I can't wait for the sequel after this, because I know the story now is a soft reboot. It kind of goes a little bit like different than what we originally had in the existing trilogy of Modern Warfare, but it also brings new theories and new stuff that I'm excited to know. If they did this game so good, so exceptionally good, I just can't imagine how good it will be, like the next sequel. Alright, gamers, and one thing that I want to like really talk about is, I know we're all struggling, we're all suffering from this disease going around, and I don't want to talk too much in that, but like, just please be safe, do your job, stay home and play video games. Like, you can do that. Watch this channel every week. I'm gonna bring you something to be entertained for a while. And it's really important during these times that we stay safe, we stay human, you know, trying not to like affect others people's lives. So it's really important for us to be safe and stay home as much as we can. I know how financially damaging it is, how psychologically damaging it is, and I know video games helps a lot, and movies or TV or like reading a book or doing exercise, like everything that helps you for your well-being, and just go ahead and do it. But yeah, like it's really serious, and I hope it goes away sooner rather than later. And but try to be conscious. Try to be for everyone around you. It's not just you. Stay home, because we get dirty so the world stays clean. That's the mission. Alright, so that was it for this episode. Thank you again for watching this video. If you like it, please go ahead and click that like button. It will really help along. I appreciate every single one of you, of all the 15 subscribers. Thank you for supporting my channel. It really helps a lot. It's starting out. It's really hard to get that traction on YouTube, and I will really appreciate those likes, those subscribes, and those comments. I try to reply to every single one of them. And thank you again for the support. I'm your host, Pablo McTavish, and as always, game on. Stay frosty. See you next week here on Gamefulness. But before I leave, let me give you the best piece of advice you'll ever have. And it is that always, no matter what, always